What's up guys, it's your boy Spiderwolf back for another JJKPhantomparade video. So today we're going to be going over Nobara here, where Nobara, checking her kit. Sorry, I'm a little sick. Before we get started, I'd greatly appreciate it because you like, comment, subscribe, we're really how much trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. But that being said, let's get right into this. So, got a brand new Nobara. I already did my Shuri summon for creating Megumi here. So if you want interested in like seeing what this Megumi does and shitty summon for him, check out that other video, but this one will mainly just be on Nobara here, so we'll be checking out what she does right now. Also real quick, just like my other video, there's a brand new event that'll be coming out here. Pretty good rewards. We get some cubes, a free recollection for the event, and then a Resident Soul Shard, which I think is just a dupe shard or whatever. Basically, it's just like the Mahagara event, I'm pretty sure, because it does literally mention multiplayer in here. So just expect something similar to that. Anyways, let's take a look at what this Nobara does. Jeez. Oh, so she is a limited character, of course, as we do know. Oh, I guess I should mention this real quick because I didn't mention this in my Megumi video, but these characters, luckily, Megumi and Nobara, do not need dupes. They don't need dupes. Luckily, they didn't introduce that crappy dupe system to these characters. They don't need them, so one copy is good enough for their kit. So you don't need to worry about chasing dupes for these characters, which is nice. Anyways, yeah, so Nobara is a blue character, limited. She is a attacker role character, which is interesting. No black flash or characteristics here. Her skill 1 here, scattered nail tossing. At level 1, you're going to deal 177 range damage to all enemies. You're going to increase all enemies nail count, change the nail count based on the enemies on the wave. So the more enemies, the more nail count, I guess. So one enemy will get you 3 counts, 2 enemies will get you 2 counts, and then 3 plus enemies will get you 1 count. So it looks like she's going to be maybe better for single target, but then again, the skill is AoE, so I'm not too sure. It's a little weird. You think it'd be increasing it. You also increase all enemies blue due to damage received by 3% for 6 turns, and then increase the chance of evasion enhancement up to 20% for 1 turn. At level 10, it's going to be 300% ranged due to damage to all enemies, and then a 5% increase due to damage received to all enemies for blue allies, and then that's pretty much about it. So that's decent. Pretty good damage. I said 300% is quite high for skill 1 here. That's AoE damage, so that's pretty cool. I just do find it a little bit funny though, like how her nail counts actually increase more when there's less enemies on the AoE skill, but I guess it's not necessarily like a bad thing, right? Also the fact that she's able to also give a 6 turn increase enemies due to damage received debuff, which is pretty cool. I mean, it's 5%, right? But I mean, 6 turns is quite nice. And she's also able to give herself a 20% dodge for 1 turn, which is pretty cool as well. So not like super high, but like it's still nice, right? It's still not bad in my opinion. Also, I will say it's kind of funny because Yuji was a blue DPS character, and Nobara here is also a blue DPS character. I don't know, I just thought that was a bit funny to me. Anyways, skill 2 here, an eternal summer trait. At level 1, it's going to cost you 0 cursed energy, which is pretty interesting. So condition 1 or more tropical juice counts. Recover your own cursed energy by 20 that can bypass the limit, and then you're going to increase your own damage dealt by 36.9% for 7 turns, but it cannot be stacked. And then you reduce your own tropical juice count by 1. At level 10, the cursed energy will be the same, but you increase your own damage dealt by 100% for the same turn count. So yeah, that's pretty much just 100% damage dealt, which is pretty nice actually. It's pretty nice. However, to use this skill, you do need to have 1 or more tropical juice count, so we'll have to see how we get those. But otherwise, if you don't have at least 1 tropical juice, then basically she won't be able to use skill 2. Even so, that's probably why it costs you a cursed energy. Skill 3 here, Straw Doll Technique Resonance. At level 1, it's going to cost you 35 cursed energy. She's going to deal 177 range damage to all enemies, so another AoE here. So she's only AoE so far. She's going to increase all enemies nail count, which can change based on the amount of enemies. So less enemies, the more counts. The more enemies, less count. She's also going to increase all enemies due to damage received by 30%, removed after activation. So this will only be applied when she attacks. And then the more debuffs / abnormal status that enemies have, the greater the effect, up to 52%, with 15 debuffs and abnormal statuses. And then deal an additional 265 range due to damage to all enemies. Soul attack, which is interesting. Increase all enemies blue due to damage received by 3% for 6 turns. At level 10, she's going to be dealing 300 range due to damage, the same thing as skill 1. And then she's going to increase their damage. Okay, that's still the same. And then she's just going to be dealing 450 range damage additionally to all enemies. That's a solo attack. And then their damage received from Jutsu attacks from blue allies will be increased to 5%. So basically, just leveling this up, just get more damage, and a slight increase here to this Jutsu damage received debuff to all enemies, and that's pretty much about it. But I mean, it's not bad. Basically, just get more damage out of it at this skill, which is, I mean, still pretty good, right? Because you get a lot of damage, 300%, plus an additional 450 AOE. Pretty, pretty nice. A lot of damage there. The ultimate here, Straw Doll Technique Hairpin. At level 1, you're going to deal 200 ranged damage to all enemies. You're going to increase all enemies' jutsu damage received by 30%, removed after activation. So same thing as skill 3. The more, and also the same thing with the whole, the more debuffs, the more damage, or the greater the effect will be, up to 52%. And then to all enemies with nail counts, you deal an additional 400 additional range damage with more nail counts. Increase the damage up to 90% of the original effect with at least 20 counts. And then increase blue jutsu damage received by 3.7% to enemies for 6 turns, and you remove all nail counts. At level 10, it's going to be 400 range jutsu damage, and then an additional 800% range jutsu damage to all enemies that have nail counts, up to 1,500 additional damage. And also you're also going to be giving them a 5% Jujutsu damage received debuff for 6 turns. Yeah, this Nobara just does a lot of damage. So her main focus is literally just outputting damage while working with her nail counts, right? So the idea would be that she could be a pretty good AoE farmer, right? Because she does a lot of AoE damage and she only does AoE attacks. And then the nail counts, right? So skill 1 and skill 3 both apply them. So if you were to do, if you were fighting like a single target, or I mean if you're fighting just a boss, right? Like if you're doing tower, then if that means there's only one enemy for 3 counts. So if it's 3 counts, then you only need what, like 20 for the maximum here? Yeah, you only need 20. So you would need to get about, so you would need about 7 turns of just continuously using skill 1 or skill 3 to get your max counts, basically, of at least 20 here, and then you could pop it and get the maximum damage here. So I guess that could kind of suck, but I mean, you could just do skill 1 and it'll be fine because that'll still count. So definitely could work in some tower runs if you're using if you need like a blue DPS character, right? So pretty good so far. I do like Nobara's kit, it's quite nice. I guess the only downside is you do have to wait, but I mean, in most content in this game, you kind of have to wait to do your big damage rotations anyway, so I think it works out perfectly fine, So I think it's fine. And then at level 7 though, it's going to be 330 range AoE damage, that's Jutsu, and then an additional 600 or 3 6s down the row, range Jutsu damage, and then at 4.5% damage received to enemies. That's Jutsu for blue allies. So yeah, there's that. If you guys are wondering what that number is going to be. Your combo ultimate here is going to deal 256 range Jutsu damage to all enemies. You're going to increase your own and the combo and the allies Jutsu step by 30% for 3 turns, and then increase everybody's ultimate gauge by 110. With their hidden potential stage 2, it's going to be 384 range Jutsu damage to all enemies, 40% Jutsu stat to herself and the ally, and also a 40% damage dealt buff to herself and the ally for both for 3 turns. So that's actually pretty good. So if you're using this like with the Yuji character, the blue DPS Yuji that came out, he's not really going to care about the Jujutsu stat, but the damage stats going to be pretty good, right? Another good character you could use this on would be Yuta. Yuta would actually work pretty well with this Nobara because he can use Jutsu damage or the Jutsu stat buff. So this could be pretty good with that Yuta. I mean, I think if I remember correctly, he does kind of have more physical skills. I need to double check what he does. Let me just double check real quick. Yuta, because I think he does have some skills with that are just focused on physical attacks. What was it? Jutsu. That one doesn't do any damage. Start out physical, but then it changes to Jujutsu. Yeah, so yeah, Nobara worked out really well with this guy, with Yuta. So yeah, she will work out really well with Yuta. Maybe she could still work with Yuji, but I think since she's mainly Jutsu damage received increased for blue allies, probably going to be better with like someone like Yuta, right? or what's another good blue character? I guess Sukana, but he's like outdated. Mainly just Yuta, probably the Yuji, maybe Gojo, I guess, if you want to run him in there. And I guess Kamo wouldn't be decent, but yeah, so, I mean, there's some decent options, but like your main ones are just gonna probably be the Yuji and Yuta, and also Nobara, because she's the DPS character as well. Anyways, let's go back to the rest of her kit. So her auto skills here, she has Vacation Vibes. So at the start of the battle, she's going to recover her own cursed energy by 20. That can go through her limits, and then increase her own tropical juice count by 3 up to 5. So basically, you could do skill 2 immediately, which is quite nice. So you don't have to wait for skill 2, you can just pop it off immediately. And then evasion enhancement. So at the start of the turn, grant self a chance to evade. Evasion enhancement cannot be stacked, 10% chance. When evading successfully one time per turn, increase own critical hit rate by 20% for 3 turns, and you also increase your own tropical juice count by 1 up to 5. Weakening specialist, so at the start of the turn, increase own jutsu stat by 40% up to 100% with 15 abnormal statuses or debuffs cannot be stacked. Effects with no time or turn limit are excluded though. I don't know if this is specifically talking about, I guess it would be specifically on Nobara. I think so, right? I think it would have to be, because it's not saying statuses or debuffs on the enemy. It's just saying stat. Cause right, where is it? On which skill was it? Yeah, on this one, right? Skill 3. So the more debuffs and normal statuses enemies have, the greater the effect, right? This one is just saying with 15 abnormal statuses or debuffs, and that's it, right? So this is specifically saying if Nobara has 15 debuffs or abnormal statuses on her, she'll get up to 100% Jujutsu stat buff. So that's pretty nice, right? So she has a way to kind of counteract maybe like any debuffs that are like reduce your taijutsu, reduce your jujutsu or whatever, right? Or reduce your defense. So stuff like that will like help her out. And then I guess another thing too is that her tropical juice count here, because remember, right, you have to use 1 to use skill 2. She does get, from what it looks like, 3 off the rip. So then you could basically, and this lasts for 7 turns, right? So this lasts for a long time, which is pretty cool. So you probably don't really need to worry about skill 2. You might need to like play it right. Remember, this can't stack, so you might as well not like spam it unless you really need the cursed energy. But otherwise, yeah, you could probably just like not use a skill 1 or turn 1. You would probably use it like closer to when you're gonna ult, or when you're gonna ult, or like not when you're gonna ult, probably maybe like before you're gonna ult, right? So that we can like do more damage here. But basically, you would apply this closer to when you're gonna ult, and then you know you would wait, like you would have 7 turns of that buff, right? And then you would use it again later when you need to. Since this gives you 3 off the bat, it makes it a lot easier. This does have a 5-turn cap, but that means you only have 2 turns to cap it out, and that can only happen. So basically, once you use these 3, right, you're not really completely screwed, because as long as you dodge here, 10% chance to dodge, though, so it's gonna be pretty rough. But if you do get the dodge, you do get another increase here. But you do get 3 off the bat, plus the fact that this lasts for 7 turns. I think you're probably gonna be fine. I don't think it's gonna be that much of a worry or issue. Plus the fact that you can't stack it anyways, I think it's gonna be perfectly fine. You just probably want to use this like turn 1, or if you're just doing general content, probably turn 1's fine. But if you're doing like tower content, this would be maybe like a turn 4 or turn 5 or something, right? But yeah, I'd say overall, this Nobara is quite good. I do like her. I think she's a pretty good character. I think I need to look at what Yuji does again, because I kind of forgot what he does. I just know he's the DPS character. Would I say Yuji's better though, or would I say Nobara's better is the real question. I mean, they're kind of doing different things, right? Like Nobara can work as like a single target DPS character, but most of her skills are literally like just focused on doing AoE damage with a bit of debuffing the enemy. And then that's pretty much it, right? So I'd say she's really good for like anything that's like AoE content, for sure, because she does like only AoE attacks. But she can get increased damage when there's only one enemy, and when she stacks up all her nail counts, right? And then she can do like big damage, right there. Whereas this Yuji, right, he's just going right into the action of being a single target DPS character of like 350 here, 700 here with a black flash, ult gauge charging, break damage, 850 damage here, 15% damage received to the enemy, guaranteed a hit, 1900 damage here, can go through counters with his SP potential here. He gets a little bit, I forgot what he gets. He gets like, what, curse energy or something? Yeah, he gets like curse energy and ultimate gauge. But he's doing like a lot of damage, right? And then, you know, he has the whole zone thing as well with the black flash. He's increasing his physical stat. He's recovering some cursed energy. So, I mean, I'd say Yuji's also really, really good. Yuji's a bit better in terms of like single target or single boss enemy content, whereas this Nobara is still pretty good for that. She can work for that, but she's definitely more for like AoE content, right? And she's hot, so I mean, like, you know, why not sub for her because of that, right? But yeah, I mean, if I were to compare between her and the Megumi, I think Megumi is like a little bit better, just because he has a bit more utility, because he's literally a debuffer character. So I'd say this Megumi is a little bit better than this Nobara. But if you do want like an AoE blue DPS character, she's not bad. I do think Yuji is maybe a little bit better, but at the same time, she does have stuff where she could be both an AoE DPS character, but she might also be able to do pretty good as well for a single, like for boss tower content, right? For one enemy, because of the whole count thing with her nails. She can get an extra buff here for the damage, jutsu damage received. So I mean, you know, there's some caveats here and there, but I'd say she's still pretty good. She can kind of work with Yuji, but like the brand new summer Yuji, the blue one, but definitely like more of like a YouTube character. Someone you would want like with Yuta or like Sukana or something, or Kamo, because it's mainly Jujutsu right here. But she's applying for the debuffs, whereas, you know, Yuji's physical, so taijutsu, so like it really wouldn't work out too well. But yeah, I think she's overall fine. She's not bad. I mean, yeah, I don't say why not. Why not summon for her? 'Cause she's pretty good. But I'd say she's maybe like lower on the list, right? So I'd say overall it'd probably be like Gojo, Megumi, and then Yuji, Nobara, or maybe flip flop with whichever one you kind of need, right? Maybe if you need a few more AoE characters, then she'll go up a bit more. But if you need a good single target blue DPS character, then like Yuji would be really good for that too. But yeah, overall I say this Nobara's pretty good. Definitely not a character you need to chase after unless you do need a blue DPS character. Then yeah, I'd go for her. If you kind of find her like more valuable than like getting this Yuji, right? I mean, at the same time, right, for Yuji to be better, you do need the dupes, so it might be better to go for the Nobara, right? Because for the Nobara, you don't need dupes for her. Because her kit's already ready to go. Whereas this Yuji, you kind of need to get his dupes, so that way you can get his other stuff. I mean, his dupes aren't like too crazy, to be honest. Like, they don't do like a whole lot of stuff for him. Like, I'd say the only dupe you maybe want is dupe, yeah, I mean, yeah, you kind of want dupe 3 is a little bit better than dupe 1, but yeah, so I guess that's another thing to think about, right? If you don't want to use your dupes, like your dupe shards from anything you have saved up, or if you don't want to summon for more dupes, then maybe Nobara is a little bit better for that because she's cheaper. So that's something else to, I guess, think about as well. If you don't want to like go down either of those routes of using any dupe shards for Yuji or summoning for more copies, you could always just pull for the Nobara, get the 1 copy, you're done, right? So yeah, overall, would I say should I summon for her? I'd say if you do need a blue DPS character, sure, I don't see why not. Plus she is cheaper than Yuji. Otherwise, you know, you could skip her if you don't really want her. But yeah, it's kind of the same thing with Megumi, where I'm like, they're not bad characters, but they're not like, whoa, super broken, like I need to pull them like Malito or like kind of like Red Yuji was for me, in my opinion. But I'd say from the total 4 characters, Gojo's number 1. Like, he's actually pretty broken and pretty good, so I'd say he's the one thing you want to focus on. The recollection I did go over in my last video. It's kind of mid. You basically just get AoE healing for the whole team at a 7-turn cooldown. With 3 dupes it's 20%, with no dupes it's 15%, but you do get an additional 5% with no dupes. With 3 dupes it's an additional 10%, so 30% 3 dupes, and then a 5% damage dealt. But if it's on a Tokyo Jutsu High Year 1 student, then you get an additional 5%, so 10%. But yeah, it's just not that great. Also, I just realized this says at the start of the turn you only get this buff, and it's only for 1 turn. Yeah, this recollection bit just sucks. I don't think it's that good. Also, I just realized I didn't go over the event one. I said this is the event recollection bit you do get from the new event that's coming out. It's a mixed damage tier When you do anything skill or ultimate, you increase all allies' physical and jutsu stat by 10% for 4 turns. If the equipped character is red or blue, you cover all allies' curse energy by 10. If the character is green or yellow, you fill all allies' ultimate gauge by 100. That's actually kind of nice. Okay. With one dupe at the start of the battle, you cover all allies' 5 HP by 5%. You decrease all allies' damage received by 10% for 2 turns. Can be reactivated after 5 turns. Okay. And then at 3 dupes, it's going to be 15% physical jutsu stat, and then a 15 recovery to all curse energy if it's a green or if it's a red or blue ally that's using this recollection bit. But if it's green or yellow, then it's 150 ultimate gauge, a 7 turn cooldown. Honestly, this is pretty good. This is actually a really good free-to-play recollection bit. I'd say this is easily like a or S tier. This is a really good recollection bit for free-to-play. So yeah, this is definitely like a really good recollection. It's funny because honestly, I'd say this is way more useful than this one from the gacha that's limit, or I guess not like technically limited, but yeah, this one, I mean, the healing's nice, but like it's 7 turn cooldown. It's not that great, in my opinion. This is really good though. This recollection here is really good in my opinion for just the fact that you get this buff here. I mean, the curse energy part, I guess, is okay, but the old gauge sure is pretty good. But you do get the physical and jutsu stat buff for all allies for 4 turns. I think that's still pretty good. So I'd say definitely a really good recollection bit there for free-to-plays. And yeah, also, oh, I completely forgot. My bad, guys. There's something I was going to talk about too, but I literally just remembered right now. There's a roadmap here. Basically, to keep things simple and short, it will basically just be reruns for the rest of the month here. So we're going to be getting a rerun of the Teen Gojo, the Heavenly Awakened one, Teen Nanami, Teen Shoko. They're going to be coming out like next week, I think. Then there's the Zone Yuji banner, the Gojo banner, and the Sukunuk banner. I don't know why they put this here because the banner's already live, so I'm not too sure why that's there. And then later, towards the end of the month, we're going to be getting a I Actually Be Featured gacha, and, and then Red Zone Yuji is going to be coming back, as well as Green Toto. So basically, yeah, Red Yuji's coming back here, Toto's coming back here, there's this other banner here, the blue one, which is probably what they're talking about. And then they said that, oh my bad, that the Sukuna, Gojo, and all of them are coming back, which their banner is already out. Yeah, so we're going to be getting these 3 as well. They'll be coming out next week, I guess. It's funny because they're actually supposed to come up before the Megumi and Nobara, but I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining that this is coming out later. And then, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much about it. In terms of new characters, new content after the celebration, we won't be seeing it till September, maybe, unless they delay things again. We do have another rerun banner though with this Gojo here, so keep that in mind. We have a lot of limited characters coming back for reruns, so we might see this in September, and then in September we might see like just Ichiji only, because if you guys remember, right, they've only been doing like one new characters per month for like a little bit. So they might do that again, where it might only just be Ichiji for September, and then that's it, and then barely any content, because they love like dry month, a lot of content, dry month, you know, it's like, I don't know why they do that, it's kind of lame. But yeah, and then some rerun banners here, this fucking old guy here, Ganji, and then Mai. So we'll see how they do things. I wouldn't be surprised if we get like a couple dead months for a little bit, and then back to global half Annie or whatever later this year, which we're getting pretty close to. Yeah, that pretty much wraps things up. I mean, in terms of, you guys want like a quick little rundown for limited rerun banners, Red Yuji's pretty good. Green Toto's better though, especially if you need like a good green DPS character. He's really good. From the teen units, I'd say arguably they're a little bit better than Green Toto and Red Yuji. I love I love both of those characters, but I'd say this banner is a little bit better in my opinion, because Red Nobara, or not Red Nobara, Red Nanami is a really good buffer character. He's really good. I'd say he's better than Yaga, but some people still like using SR Yaga, but I think he's really good. He's like the premium buffer character. Shoko's a really good green buffer character, plus she's a healer. Not as good as the yellow one, but like still really good in my opinion. I think Green Gojo, still really good character. Maybe falling off a little bit, but I mean, you could use him or you could use Toto, so pretty good characters there. Red Yuji, Green Toto, Like I said, Toto's a little better than Yuji, but if you do need a good red DPS character, Yuji's still pretty good. I love using him personally as my red DPS character, but of course there's other really good options, like Choji's still really good. You can still use Toji. Sukuna. Actually, are we gonna be getting this Sukuna here? Because that looks different from, let's see, Yuji, Toto. Because this one said Zone Yuji. Yeah, so we already got this one. Okay, yeah, so. But yeah, it looks like we're going to be getting the, what is it, Mahito and Sukuna here, the fucking, I forgot what it's called, the one, here's the fire burner. You can literally see it right here, right? But we're going to be getting these Uraume banners, maybe next week, but they didn't mention them in here, so I don't really know exactly, unless they kind of messed up here, but I don't know, they might be pushing these guys back a little bit, who knows. But these guys will be rerunning soon on Global. So if you guys are interested in this Sukuna or this Mahito, which is a really good Mahito, also a really good red DPS character, but his main thing is a debuffer, but he can work as a DPS character. They're both going to be coming back with sometime, maybe not this month, but maybe next month or in 2 months. These characters will be coming back. But yeah, definitely between these two, Mahito is really good. But if you do want a really good yellow DPS character, this Sukuna is really, really good. Though if you have Zone Yuji, the yellow one, he works pretty well too. But I mean, Sukuna's way cooler, especially this one. And yeah, also this blue Gojo, he's pretty good too. If you want to have him on the blue team, it's pretty nice. And yeah, that pretty much wraps things up. So hope this video helps you guys out. And yeah, let me know down in the comments below how you guys summons go. If you're planning to pull, if you're planning to skip anybody. Maybe we're gonna wait for some of the other limited characters that are gonna be running soon. And yeah, let me say, I'm gonna catch y'all later. Peace and take care, everybody.